Let me share with you my screen. Okay, thank you everyone for joining us on this afternoon, Saturday. So hot here in Brasília. Hope you are doing well in your city. And today is going to be our English meeting in Brasília Toastmasters. So any guests here that feel uncomfortable with the language, don't worry. We are going to have a break after the meeting so we can speak in Portuguese and understand how the meeting was handled and what is the objective behind Toastmasters International and our club. I would like to start talking about our club and about Toastmasters. And first, I'd like to remember, my friends, that last month, Toastmasters Brasília, our club, made her 4th anniversary. So we'd like to ask for applause for Brasília Toastmasters. Our club is getting old here in Brasília. So our responsibility is going to be bigger now that we're going to help another clubs to be found here in Brasília. This certificate was sent by Toastmasters International as I reminded us about this special date. So our club was founded 4 years ago in UNB. This is the Federal University here in Brasília. And so want you understand what is the meeting guide for us. 1 second, okay. I would like to ask everyone that's not speaking to keep your microphone on mute so you can have the right time to speak with us. We are going to ask you to open your mic so you can talk with us. So during the speech, please keep your microphone off so we can pay attention to the speakers. We use the sign of language to give applause for our friends here that perform roles and deliver speech. So every time that we ask for applause, we're going to send virtual Libras applause for them. And we are going to have a word of the day. This is a challenge to keep our vocabulary growing. So we try to put this word during our speech, to improvise using different words. In the right time, our grammarian is going to introduce this word to us. And every time someone uses the word of the day, we are going to give a thumbs up for them, so to recognize that they use the word. During the speeches, we are going to ask the speakers to pin the timer video. Today, the timer is going to be Aletheia. In the right time, we're going to explain how this is going to work and how you, speaker, can pin the video so you can see Aletheia show you the right time for your speech. And to remind everyone that we do keep recording of our meeting so you can have our speakers and members of the club to rewatch their presentation so they can improve better and faster. So if any of the guests feel uncomfortable with that, don't worry, you don't need to leave the meeting. You can just turn off your video. And after the meeting, I'm going to stop the recording and you can open your video again and talk with us. But if you don't mind, I would like to invite all of you to keep your video open so we can see who is joining us today, and we can even talk with you in the network breaking. And for our guests, as I mentioned in the beginning, don't worry, it's not obligation for you to speak. So if you want, in the right time, you are going to have an opportunity to speak. If you don't want, you can just chat and say that you are just here to be listening and understand how the meeting is happening and what you can get from this. So don't worry, it's not mandatory to speak. Our club mission here in Brasília Toastmasters is to help people develop public speaking and leadership skills through active participations in meetings like that, and have an inclusive experience and conducive learning. So what is that? We have regular meetings. We have 4 meetings each month. And our members have this as an opportunity to grow as speakers and leaders. Every time we have different people delivering different roles, and they can improve that with the Toastmasters International methodology of speaking. So this is really great opportunity to learn more on how to do and deliver better speeches and how to handle leadership in different ways, because in clubs like this, you can take roles as directors and understand how can you make this organization that is voluntary to grow and keep health during the years ahead. I'm today the president of Brasília Toastmasters, and I'm going to be your host too, because we have different hosts every day. So today I'm going to be your host, and this is my presentation as president. For you guests here that don't know, Toastmasters is a non-profit organization that is over the world. Today we are in more than 143 countries, and we have more than 16,000 clubs around the globe in different countries, and we have almost 360,000 members. So Toastmasters, maybe for you is the first time to understand and learn what is this, but we are here for almost 100 years. So this is a comproved educational program that really help people improve their public speaking skills and leadership skills. For you to understand how big Toastmasters is, we have clubs like this one that is open to the community, but hundreds of companies, they promote Clube Toastmasters inside of them because they understand the importance of having people developing better communication skills. If you have employees that can communicate better, it's almost sure that that person is going to be a better leader. So Dell here was the first company to bring Toastmasters to Brazil. We have Toastmasters Club in different Apple's stores and company around the globe, and all of this is just a small idea of many companies that have Toastmasters inside of them. So our club is Brasília Toastmasters. For you that don't know Toastmasters Brazil, our club was recognized last month as the #1 club in Brazil, the one that gave the best rewards to our members and was the best performance for educational program, the membership program, and against all the clubs in Brazil. So it's a proud of us to be here. And as Maria Sam is giving applause to us, this is a great responsibility, because you know that with this seal here that we have as #1, we need to keep this improving every meeting. So thank you for all of members that is here today. Thank you for you guests that is believe that you can learn something today. It's great pleasure to have you. So for you to understand, our meeting today has a theme. That theme is habits. That I brought that idea because I have been learning about that in the last 3 years. It's really nice to see how our mind works. For you to understand, when you try to compare one person and a computer, every time you say that a computer can do a lot of things in a fraction of seconds, but maybe you don't know, but your body is made to be extremely fast. And to do that, you can't think about what you do. And that's why habits is so important, because many things that you do, you don't think about that. That's the difference when you try to walk for the first time as a baby. He don't know what to do, so he keeps stumbling the things and getting the ground again. After that, that become a habit. We just walk today. If you stop to think about how to walk, like in a straight line, you start to walk slow, and you can't run without falling from that line. So that's how habits is really important to understand. I'm going to be your Toastmasters of this afternoon. As I mentioned, everyone here is a volunteer, and I have friends that's going to join me and help this meeting happen. We are going to have Aletheia Melo as the timer, and I'd like Aletheia to just show us how she's going to present the time for us. So please, Aletheia.
Hello, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a timer today, my role is remind all speakers how much time they get to deliver their speech. So when, uh, let me see, I will show you the green card. Let me see. Oh, just a second. Yes. I will show the green background when the speech is running up, the yellow one in the middle of that, and the red one when the time allowed is finished. Thank you, Alessandro. Ah, sorry. Thank you.
Thank you, Aletheia. Thank you so much. That's important to understand how this is going to be handled because we rely on the timer to give and deliver our speech in the right time. So we are going to have help of different people today. And our accountant today is going to be Akiko Yamagami, our new member. And for you to understand, the accountant role is one of the most important roles for the first timers in Toastmasters. The accountant is responsible to take note of the filler words. Words like a, so. When you don't know what to say, you just put that a filler word. So she's going to take note of that. In the right time, she's going to come here in the front and deliver her report on how people use these filler words. Thank you, Akiko. Our grammarian for this afternoon is going to be André Sack, one of our new members. This is really nice. So I would like to ask applause for André and Akiko to join us as members new here and taking roles and helping our meeting. The grammarian is responsible to bring the word of the day for the meeting and to take notes about the good use of the language, or sometimes to give feedback on how to use better our language. So today we are going to have an English meeting. For you, that is our guest, as I like to mention every time, all of our members have English as second language. So don't mind if our English is not so good. Our English isn't either, because we're starting to learn together. That's how a Clube Toastmasters works. Daniel Beck is going to be our Topics Master. The Topics Master is responsible for the impromptu speech moment. It's the second section of the meeting. This is where, if you want, guests can even join and deliver speech. That's going to be from 1 minute to 2 minutes. That's a different role because they're going to know what you're going to talk about in the right time just before you open your microphone. So in the right time, Daniel is going to be join us here in the screen, and he's going to present the theme of his speech and how that's going to happen. And we have a general evaluator, Aline Amorim, is our guest. Thank you, Aline, for joining us and help Brasília Toastmasters today. It's a pleasure to have you here. And what is the general evaluator role here? She's responsible to know how the meeting was handled from the beginning to the end and how the evaluators did during their evaluations for the speakers. So it's very important to understand because we have roles and these roles can improve if the general evaluator give feedback for them. And Toastmasters is all about feedback. We are going to understand that we have a lot of time to have and give feedback. So in the right time, I'm even going to ask our guests to give feedback for our speakers. You don't need to worry about that. You can just leave your message with what you think was good or not about our speakers. And I would like now to invite André Sacchi, our grammarian, to speak about the word of the day. Please, André, you can open your mic. Thank you so much.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, good afternoon. Today's special word is staggering. And what is funny is that I chose the word before I actually knew the meeting theme was habits. And then I was told I had to somehow link staggering with habits. But the thing is that there couldn't possibly be a worse choice of word because there is usually nothing staggering about habits. But I think this disconnection is actually going to help you remember today's word meaning and usage. As you can see, staggering means shocking, unbelievable, incredible. And here are a couple of examples. The staggering living expenses usually shock people that need to move to Brasília. He faced a staggering and unfair amount of work in his former job. That is why he quit it. And although I acknowledge it is going to be a challenge, I encourage you to use staggering in your speeches and your interventions throughout the meeting. I'll be counting the times you use the word of the day, and I'll also take notes on interesting things you say. Back to you, Alessandro.
Okay, thank you, André. That's a great word. Actually, I was thinking about this word this morning, and I do believe that it's staggering for people understand how habits play an important role in their lives. I do believe that almost everyone that don't know that would be staggered about that, because it's really important to understand that when you take your towel to dry yourself after the shower, you do exactly the same thing for years, because that's the better way that your body tried to do that. Your mind tried to do that. It's the same when you brush your teeth. So don't be so staggering when you understand how habits is really important. And we have now our previous speeches, and I would like to, every time I'm going to invite someone, I'm going to ask in few words, 2 or 3 words, one bad or good habit that you have today, or one bad habit that you left behind. So we are going to have our prepared speech now. And the first one is going to be Ana Maruzia Lima. She is doing the presentation mastery path in Toastmasters. And the project is going to be researching and presenting. The objective of this project is going to be understand a new theme that's not so used to Maruzia, or something that she is not understand good. So she is going to study that theme, and after that she is going to deliver a speech to us now. So prepare to have great source of info during her speech, and she is going to be evaluated by Luis Eduardo França, and the title of her speech is What Brings Me Here? What Brings Me Here, Ana Maruzia. And please, Ana, give to us a small description about one bad habit that you left, or one good habit that you have today.
A good habit, I have to smile all the time. I think it's good. I think it's a universal language we can share. Smiling.
Thank you, Maruzia. If you would like to start, Ana Maruzia, what brings me here? Ana Maruzia, the stage is yours.
Hi, everyone. My job today is to show you the results of my research. I chose to find out some things that made it possible for me to be here with you. I couldn't be talking to you now if I wasn't using my computer. Not the machine itself alone, but the soft things inside and around it. I have installed a lot of programs on my laptop to deliver my speech today. The browser, the text editor, this video chatting service, all of them based on computer programming. Do you know who created the first computer program? Let me tell you an interesting story. Imagine you are in the middle of the 19th century in England. Your father is a romantic poet. He abandons the family. Your mother, in turn, is a brilliant mathematician. She wants to prevent you from being crazy like your father, and calls tutors from the university to teach science and math to you. You repay with a bright, staggering talent and become, still a teenager, a mentee of a man who is interested in building machines for calculations. You, a young apprentice, note the immense potential for the machine, much larger than the original ideas of your mentor. What if The machine not only calculates with numbers, but with letters, symbols. It could include all subjects in the universe, you say. You also theorize a method for the engine to repeat a series of instructions, the same process that computer programs use today. Your study is published in 1843, but it's internationally recognized 100 years later with its republishing. Now here we are confirming the enthusiasm of you, that young visionary. Besides the programs, I am using the internet to talk to you. It comes to this room via Wi-Fi, a facility that allows devices to connect to the internet wirelessly. Let me tell you another interesting story. Imagine you were born in 1913 in Austria. You go to an acting school and perform a role in a controversial film because of a nudity scene. You are hired by MGM in Hollywood, became famous, meet a lot of people like engineers, scientists, builders. They are worried about the Second War. One of your friends is a musician. He had composed an avant-garde symphony using unconventional instruments, for example, a dozen player pianos, all synchronized. You think, what if we do the same with radio signals to combat Hitler? The receiver would be synchronized to the transmitter to allow both to jump together the frequencies so the message will transmit clearly. However, anyone trying to eavesdrop would hear only random noise. You and your partner apply for a patent on a device called Secret Communications System. It's the key to many wireless communications of our present days. Let me tell you now who are these two talented persons whose inventions bring me here. This is Ada Lovelace, the first computer programmer. And this is Heidi Lamar, inventor of Wi-Fi. Did you know them? I discovered this content using sources and resources provided by them. Websites on the internet, my Wi-Fi. Ada's biography is available on My Matters News, Today I Found Out, and biography.com. Information about Heidi is on CBS News and Engineering and Technology History Wiki. And this person, do you know? Adeltrudes Pinheiro Lima. She's my mom. She was born in Bahia in 1940. Oldest of 7 children, she was a middle school teacher. My father and she came to Brasília in 1976. She became a psychologist. Mother of 5, she used to fill our home with music, story, and hope. She invented me, the person who I am. She is no longer in this dimension, but she's more present than ever. Ask yourself, what brings you here? A lot of different people for sure, made it possible. However, we all have one thing in common. All of us are here because of a woman. Thank you.
Amazing, Maruja. That is amazing. It's really nice to know how things happen in our history. So it's so important to have this documented today, because we have millions of years that's lost in the past without knowing things. So thank you so much to share this with us. It's really important to understand how we can be here today in this pandemic situation, talking each others in our home, but keeping this club alive. Congratulations. So I would like now to ask our friends here in this meeting to give a feedback from Ana Maruja. I just pasted here in the chat box a link, so you can just click in that link and we're going to choose Ana Maruja's name, and you can leave your feedback for her. You can leave a positive, a negative, what like or not like, don't mind about that. Even our guests can give feedback to Maruja, because it's really important to understand how can we improve. And for you to understand, after you send this feedback, this is going to be directly sent to her email address. So this is really important to help her grow as a speaker. So please, our timer, could you please take note of 1 minute for us? Okay, everyone, you can keep writing your feedback for her, and I'm going to present our next speaker. His name is Vanessa da Silva Santos. Vanessa is going to deliver a product in the same path as Maruja. This is presentation mastery. It's one of the 11 pathways that we have in the Toastmasters educational program. And the project that Vanessa is going to present today is understanding your communication style. This project is going to be to understand what is the best way that Vanessa is used to deliver speech, and how can she deliver communication with others. But for doing that, she studied different communication styles, and she is going to deliver a speech today, trying to show you some of this idea and what is the best communication style that she's used to do, what is the best that she's going to start to use by now. So she's going to be evaluated by Alexandre Magno, and the title of her speech is How to Have a Difficult Conversations. Vanessa da Silva Santos, How to Have Difficult Conversations. The stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. So Alessandro asked us to share a good and bad habit. A good habit that I have is that I read a lot, and a bad habit is not doing physical exercises, but I'm going to change that.
Great.
As Alessandro said, I did a test these days to identify what is my communication style, and these are the results. My main communication style is to be a supportive communicator. Here are 3 characteristics of people who have a supportive communication style. We tend to be calm people who have good active listening skills, and we also tend to be very gentle on other people. Being like that, we tend to be perceived as calm, cooperative, and we also tend to be seen as slow to make decisions. I realized that I have sometimes difficulty in making decisions. Sometimes I freeze, sometimes I take a little bit longer than other people. So I think that everything that I found about the characteristics of being a supportive communicator was correct. The supportive communicators tend to thrive in an environment where we can build close relationships. And I noticed that the places where I worked, where I was the best, were the places where I didn't have only colleagues, but I had friends who worked with me. And another characteristic that we have is that we tend to avoid conflict. I think that I've done that a lot in the past. It's a bad habit that I intend to change. Recently, I did attended a course on how to have these good conversations. I brought some of this knowledge to share with you because I think that this can be useful not only for supportive communicators, but for everyone. This is the framework of preparing for a difficult conversation. First, you need to prepare, then you execute the conversation, and then you reflect on the conversation that you just had. The first phase is prepare. In this phase, you identify what is your main concern. Why are you having this conversation? Another thing that you must consider is the environment. What is the best time to have the conversation? Who is supposed to be there? Do you need any previous information to have the conversation? And another very, very important thing is the results that you expect from the conversation. Is it a task? Is it a behavior that you want the person to change? Is it an action that you expect the person to do? To prepare, it is useful to write everything down that you intend to do during the conversation. And you can also rehearse the conversation with someone else. You may choose a friend, a colleague, and then do the conversation with that person. Be an actor. And this person may give you some feedback on how to better have the conversation that you really need to do. Then it comes to execution. Go to the environment that you have chosen, concentrate on everything that you have prepared, and then have the talk. It is very important for you to close the conversation properly. It's important that you are crystal clear about what you expect from the person. Sometimes we have a conversation and we only complain about what the person is doing, and we don't say to the person what we expect from them, from him or from her. So it is important to be clear. And then it comes the reflection. Think about what you have planned, but you haven't done, what you could have done differently. What have you learned from this experience? What can you do to better prepare for the next conversation? As supportive communicators, we tend to avoid the conflict, but it's very important to address the problem directly. I think we can avoid a lot of anxiety doing that. And I hope that my speech today has helped the supportive communicators and the other people as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vanessa. This is really important as the habits that we mentioned before. Communication is a habit, and humans are communication beings. We need to rely on communication. This is so important to understand how to communicate better and how to send our message to different persons in different environments. Congratulations for the speech. I would like now to ask all of you again to deliver to give your feedback for Vanessa, I'm going to paste the same link here. You just click in the link and choose Vanessa Santos' name. It's just after her speech title, and you can deliver her feedback for her. Reminding that guests can use the form and give your feedback in the point of view that you have, okay? This is going to be really important for her. Aletheia, please take a timer for 1 minute. Okay, so
1 minute.
will you keep, thank you, Aletheia. So everyone, if you are still writing your feedback, don't mind, you can just keep on doing that. It's really important. I really encourage all of you to give feedback for her, and reminding our speakers to use the word of this afternoon, this meeting. This is staggering, okay? So now we're going to move to our next speech. It's going to be Alaúzi Pires, and she is doing a project in the Innovative Planning Path in Toastmasters Educational Program. And her project is going to be Introducing to Toastmasters Mentoring. She's going to be evaluated by Ana Paula. The objective of her speech today is going to deliver a speech about a experience as a mentee when she was mentee for some mentor, or her experience as a mentor for someone. This special plot is going to give her a view of the Toastmasters mentor program that's help new members to grow as speakers. So Alaúzi is going to share her view on this experience. The title of her speech is My PhD Journey, a time when I was a protégé. Alaúzi Pires, My PhD Journey, a time when I was protégé. And Alaúzi, please share one bad habit that you left behind or one that you used to have today. The stage is yours.
Mute, Alaúzi. You were mute.
Thank you. So a good habit that I did today, it was the meditation. So I meditated today. And a bad habit, it was not wash the dishes of my breakfast and my lunch. Please, I would like to share. Okay, let me share here. Can you see my screen?
Hope yes, so. I can see the mountains and the island.
Yeah, thank you. Well, the guide inspires as much as a mentor, but the latter also fascinates people. Today, I will share with you the importance and impact of having mentors during my PhD journey. This is a picture of the day of my PhD defense, and here is me with a big smile as always. During my PhD process, I have the opportunity to have two good mentors on my life. One of them is my advisor, Eliseu, and another of them is Sergio. During this time where I could share my experience with those guys, I can tell you that they really make a great difference on my life. I'm so grateful for having those mentors during this time. And how was this mentoring process during this my PhD. First, I can tell you that we had a collaborative learning relationship in which we shared responsibilities. So we had some meetings where I could tell them about my PhD proposal. That was something new for them too. And they could tell me how to establish my research goals, how to find the best paths to reach them. Over time, we joined more scholarly interests, and they always support me when I was a little lost in my progress. Second, Eliseu and Sergio, they shared with me their knowledge and their skills, but they always allowed me to learn independently. During some of our meetings, they could tell me, okay, choose your own path, and we are here to support you, to facilitate you in this path. Also, they provided me constructive guidance when I was feeling like where to go, what I need to do. And the third, they helped me to establish a research community within and outside my graduate program. This for sure was extremely important to reach my professional goals, as well as to reach academic excellence. In this direction, I would like to share with you something that these guys mentoring me and in a staggering, fascinating, and enriching experience of my life that was applied for studying for 1 year at Stanford University, one of the best universities in the world. So again, I'm so grateful to the universe for having these mentors on my life. And what I can tell about me as a protege in this PhD process, yes, I have to take a look on my attitudes too, because the mentoring process requires responsibility from the mentee and the mentor. Although I had done some mistakes during this process, I believe that they were lower than my success. Evaluating my behavior during this PhD journey, I believe that I was really adaptable to different situations with a great desire to learn more and more and more. On the other hand, I can confess you that sometimes it was so harsh for me to listen their feedbacks, especially when they thought that I was lost on my path, that I had lost my research goals. Yeah, it was really hard for me. In the end, I can tell you that I feel really lucky during this my journey because I had these two mentors who reminded me the values, the visions that changed forever my life. Now I feel more secure to do research by my own, to write papers, and to expose my ideas in seminars and conferences, and maybe to mentor a graduate student. And you, are you prepared to mentor others in their journeys? Let's do that together. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Alaúzi. This is a great speech. That's a place that many of us actually don't see when we are doing college or high school, because we always look for someone that seems to be so better than us. And when they understand that we have people like mentors that can just guide us with an idea or just give us a great path to go, or say bad paths that you don't need to go. This is really important. Thank you so much. I would like now to ask again for you to give our feedback for Alaúzi. The link is in the chat box. Remind plus, please, our guests, give your feedback for her, our members and guests. Again, share your thoughts so you can help Alaúzi grow as a speaker here in Toastmasters. We're going to have 1 minute for this feedback.
One minute passed.
Thank you, Aletheia. So if you're still writing your feedback, as I mentioned before, just keep writing because that is so important. Now I'm going to move to our first and last speech of this afternoon. And this is going to be presented by, by Maria Iracema Martin, our member here in Brasília Toastmasters. And her path is team collaboration. And this project is going to be about a successful collaboration. This is going to be how Maria Iracema handle a project together with someone, or how she's going to handle that with someone in the future. So this project is going to give her ideas on how to do that and how to team together with people and make something that you want to have happen done by someone in a group. And she's going to be evaluated by our friend from Mozambique. Thank you, Shana Mauzi. She's going to be evaluating Maria Iracema. And the title of her speech is going to be Strategies for Successful Team Collaboration. Maria Iracema Martin, Strategies for Successful Team Collaboration. And please, Maria Iracema, share with us one bad or good habit that you have or had in the past. The stage is yours.
A good habit, a bad habit from the past was eating sugar, and I dropped that. And a good habit is eating vegetables every day. And these habit changes have made a staggering impact on my health style. Wow. You do that so well. Has anyone ever told you that you do something really well? Raise your hand. How did you feel? I bet you felt good. To ensure successful collaboration on a team, the most important thing, one very important strategy is to recognize strengths and abilities and show appreciation for them. How do you do that? You get staggering results when you do these two simple things. How do you recognize people's strengths and abilities? And I'm talking about different teams. Your team can be your family, it can be a group of co-workers, and in my case, it was a group of volunteers. I used the principles I learned on this project with this group of volunteers. How do I How have I applied these principles of recognizing strengths and showing appreciation for them? I used the 15-15 rule. That means that you arrive 15 minutes earlier and you leave 15 minutes later to any event. During this time, you get to know people. You ask questions, and that's what I did. I got to know people, I asked questions, and most importantly, I listened. I have also taken some notes for future reference. With this group of volunteers, a couple of weeks ago, I stayed late and I started talking to a priest. I already knew that he was a priest, but during the time we talked, I found out that he was a musician, he could speak Italian, he was a philosopher, he had lived in Israel for 2 years, and that he was a nurse. A situation came up in our group of volunteers, and we needed a medical professional. I remembered he was a nurse, and I asked him for help, and he gladly shared with us his knowledge, and the situation was resolved. It was a medical emergency, and it was taken care of. It was taken care because I knew that he was a nurse. It's very important to know the people, the strengths, the abilities that your collaborators bring to your team. For example, even if these strengths are hobbies, are interests, and they are not directly related to the, let's say we're talking about a professional bottom line, if these interests are not directly related to the work at hand. But imagine that your department has to put together an event, and this event is going to include meals and music. You know your team, and you know that Mary is an excellent cook. That's her hobby. This is not directly related to her performance at work, but you can ask her to help with the menu for this professional event. Or let's say Bob is the member of a rock and roll band, and you know that about Bob, and you can ask him to help with the music selection for this professional event. You see how important it is to know the members of your team and all the knowledge and all the help they can aggregate, they can bring onto your project. Recognize strengths and show appreciation. How do I show appreciation? A simple way to do it is to acknowledge what you have seen, acknowledge a member's contribution, and to say thanks. You can do that on a one-on-one basis. You can do that in public. It's even better to do it in public in front of a group. Or you can talk behind their backs. Yes, you can do positive gossiping, and you can tell the group that this person does something particularly well. They will find out about it, just like in the case of negative gossiping. I wanted to tell you a story. Growing up, we were 8 children, and in the morning on Sundays we slept late. And my father and my mother, they intentionally started talking about us children, and they would reinforce our positives, right? They would share, they would casually tell each other the things we did well, and they shared their vision for our future. That was music to our ears. Now, my parents are very wise, and they especially emphasized the things we did well around the house. Guess what happened? When we got up, we were ready to go do our house chores, and without complaining, we would not complain, because we had heard that positive reinforcement. We had heard the recognition and appreciation for the things we did well. Remember to ensure collaboration on a team. Most important thing is to recognize strengths, abilities, skills, and show appreciation for them. And people will jump at the possibility of contributing with something they do well. And by showing appreciation, we are all very tender inside, very sensitive, and we need that positive reinforcement. So my challenge for you is recognize the strengths of people around you this coming week and show appreciation for them. Thank you.
Congratulations, Iracema. This is great speech. I think it's the first one that I saw you doing in English. That was amazing. And I really love the positive gossip, because this is so used as a mean word. And I really like the idea of thinking about and talking behind the back of others, but about good stuff. Make them feel better and show to others that they have great friends with great skills. Thank you so much. And I would like to ask all of you to give your feedback for Maria Iracema. Again, that is so important. I really like to ensure that you understand that, because Toastmasters relies on feedback, even for our guests that is not members, okay? So just click in this link here in the chat box, and you can give your feedback for Maria Iracema, showing your appreciation for her, giving a positive or negative feedback, because that is going to make her stronger and better speaker. This is going to take 1 minute for that. Okay, so we're still keeping your feedback. I'd like to ask Aletheia Melo to come here to the stage and share her report on the timer, because to know if our member is going to be able to be voted for the best speech. Please, Aletheia.
Thank you, Alessandro. Well, they all should deliver their speech between 5 and 7 minutes, with 30 seconds with tolerance. So Ana Maruzia delivered her speech in 7 minutes and 1 second. Vanessa in 5 minutes. Alauzi in 6 minutes and 11 seconds. Maria Iracema in 7 minutes and 8 seconds. So you are all staggering eligible. Thank you, Alessandro.
Okay, thank you so much, Aletheia. So this is great to know, because every meeting we're having to have a voting to know who was the best speaker of this meeting. So everyone can vote. I'm going to share with you a pool that's going to pop up in your screen now, and you can choose between these 4 speeches. And this is staggering to see that we have 4 women delivering speech. This is great. Great. Thank you, girls. Thanks so much. So I believe that all of you has now a pop-up screen in front of you. You can just choose in your opinion. Even guests can vote. Please share your opinion and help us recognize who was, in your opinion, best prepared for this afternoon meeting. And maybe you can have this in less than 1 minute, because we have almost everyone voted. Great. Okay, I believe we are done. We have 77% of people voted, And I believe that the fourth one that didn't was the speakers. So the voting is ended, and we are now used to have a network break-in, but we are a few minutes late, and I would like to have a small break. So no break. So okay, our time is saying to me that we need to keep moving forward so we can keep our agenda on time. So if anyone needs to leave to take some water, don't worry, you can just turn off your camera, go take your glass of water and come back. We are moving now for our third part of this meeting. Second part is going to be the table topic session. As I mentioned before, this is supposed to be really fun and challenge for everyone. Remember to use the word of the day, staggering. And I'd like now to invite my friend, Daniel Beck, that's going to host the table topic session and explain to you how this is going to be handled. Please help me welcome Daniel Beck.
Thanks, Alessandro. Thanks a lot. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Well, the table topic session for today will be staggering. I have created lots of questions based on the theme for our meeting today, which is the habits, right? So a couple of questions were created based on the theme, and as I did in my last time as table topics master, I will actually share my screen. I will spin the wheel of names, and I will choose someone to be the speaker. So at this point, everyone will start to feel something in your stomach, right? So you'll feel like a little pain, get nervous, like the adrenaline will start to flow, and that's normal, okay? All of you will have between 1 to 2 minutes to speak about the question that we'll choose here. All right, so sit tight and let's go. First question, pay attention. All right. How do you stay away from distractions? Do you do just one thing at a time or multitask in a planned way? How do you stay away from distractions? Do you do just one thing at a time or multitask in a planned way? Please, Luis Eduardo.
How can I stay away from distractions? In this modern world where we are reached out by infinite sources of distractions, like notifications from your mobile, it is good to plan your day and your moments of focus. Some people call it flow, state of flow. The state of flow is reached when you are kept away from many distractions, when 100% of your attention and your concentration are focused on this activity. And how do you do that? Well, you should plan your day to avoid any type of distractions like notifications for your cell phone. You should stay in a closed environment, away from any distractions for your family or friends, for instance. That's one of a good advice. One of good strategy is to go to a quiet place that you can hear the sound of nature and the environment, so you can be relaxed but focused at the same time. I know that is difficult. I know the youth and the kids today, they are struggling to do that, and their attention is not as good as it should be. But I think that we as adults and people who can give them some advices should explain to our kids and to our young friends and kids to keep attention. It will be good for your future. It will be good for your life to be a more focused guy, and especially to reach the state of flow, that is one of the most important characteristics to do an excellent. As Aristotle said 2,000 years ago, excellent is not a result of act, is a result of habits. Thank you. Back to you, Daniel.
Thanks a lot, Eduardo. Fantastic. Yeah, the state of flow was awesome. Great tip. Actually, I never heard about this, about the terminology, but I do know that we really have to focus and to be in that state of mind is really hard, and especially working from home with the family and so on. So it's hard to manage all of the things. So congratulations to everyone who can do that, and that's a great tip for a new habit for all of us to acquire. All right, let me share again my screen. Okay, that moment that you all start to feel some nervous, and I'll spin the wheel. Next question. All right, this one is fun. What is a successful life? What habits should you have to have a successful life? What is a successful life? What habits should you have to have a successful life? Please, Fábio Souza.
Thank you, Daniel. Good afternoon, guys. A successful life. It's staggering how this may be different for everyone, right? What's success depends on the moment of your life, depends on where you are situated in the world, right? We all pass our lives pursuing it, right? Well, I think that good habits that could allow us, direct us to success is make things that we like, that brings satisfaction for us, but for others, like we are doing here right now, trying to inspiring other people, right? This brings an intrinsic satisfaction, and at the same time as we feel that we are helping the others, right? In a non-charging way, right? We are volunteers here. We are donating our time to help ourselves. I think this kind of habits, like volunteering work, and can take us to success and the success of the world as society, right? Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Fábio. Indeed, yeah, success is really something subjective, right? Same as happiness. So what is happiness and what is success for everyone? It's really something personal. As you said, right? Like volunteering can be something that fulfill you and makes you feel like that you have achieved success in life because you are able to help others, and that is fantastic. So the habits that we have in life will guide our success as a person, right? And as a human being. So fantastic, great thanks for sharing that. Alrighty, let me share my screen again, and let's get another volunteer. Let me spin the wheel. All right, sharing. Okay. Next question. All right, this one seems simple, but it'll be tricky. What would my younger self say about me today? What would my younger self say about me today? Akiko.
Me?
Yes.
I thought I somehow sensed that you would say my name. Okay, thank you, Daniel. Daniel? Yes, so let's start. What would my younger Akiko would say to me, Akiko, right now in Brazil? I would say, or she would say, first of all, congratulations. You are the very extrovert girl. You was born in a very tiny village in a rural countryside of Japan. And then you are always dream of get out of the tiny world. That's why you went to the university in the central Japan, which was Tokyo. And then now you have yourself settled down in the other side of the globe. How successful life you're having as an extrovert. And then now what I'm doing right now is connecting to you in some language which is called English, my second language, with the people from Brazil. This is beyond my expectation for my own life. So basically, congratulations, Akiko, you did a good job. Thank you for having me today. Back to you, Daniel.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Fantastic. Yeah, it was a great message from the young Akiko to your Akiko today. Yeah, and what I would like to tell, it's actually how important the habits are for our life, right? So I'm sure that to get you to Akiko here today, you have made so many things. You planned your life. You wake up early. You went to university. And I'm sure you haven't, maybe we haven't noticed, but we did have a lot of habits in our life that made us get to where we are today. So congratulations, and congratulations to you, Kiko. All right. Timer, do we have time for one more? Okay, all right. So let me share my screen. Let's just spin the wheel. All right, this one is fun. What value do I want to bring to my life? What value do I want to bring to my life? Shana.
Thank you, Daniel. What value do I want to bring to my life?
Yes.
I was not expecting to be called, but I'm going to think of something. I would really like to add value with regards to my speaking abilities, especially with French. I think there's a whole new world in Francophone countries that up to some extent, I feel like I'm limited because of the language. And I feel like if I knew more, and I understood a little bit more about the language and how they interact, especially here in Africa, we're surrounded by Francophone countries like Congo with great culture, but I can't have access to that because of the language. And just having this ability of being a quick learner, that's one of the greatest values that I would like to add to my life. And I see Toastmasters as a way of doing it. I've already started working with it because I believe that we're not going to wake up one day with that value. It's an ongoing process. And I personally joined last week a Toastmasters meeting in French. And I think I'm going to remove French from my CV because I just acknowledge that I can't speak it at all. So I definitely want to add this ability of being a better learner, a quick learner. And I'm starting it with the French language. Thank you very much. Over to you, Daniel.
Thanks a lot, Shana. Fantastic. Yeah. So that it is another habit that we can have to learn a new language. And definitely French is a challenge. I can't even imagine speaking French. It's only thing I know is je suis, and that's it. Je suis Daniel, and that's it. All right, so we are done with our time. So with this, I will close the table topic session. I'll hand over back to you, Alessandro.
Thank you, Daniel. Thanks so much. I was trying to find a French word for thank you. I don't know if it's merci. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. So thank you so much. I don't know French. I just remember that France beat Brazil in 1994. I don't know. We beat France in 94 when it was our first championship in soccer. So I'd like now to invite Aletheia Mello, our timer, to give her report on the tabletop session and know who was able to be voted for the best impromptu speech for this meeting. Please welcome Aletheia.
Thank you, Alessandro. So this time they should deliver their speech between 1 and 2 minutes with 30 seconds with tolerance. So Luis Eduardo have done it in 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Fabio in 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Akiko in 1 minute and 26 seconds. Xana 1 minute and 24 seconds. So they are.
Oops, we lost your microphone. Everyone is going to be able to be voted, Aletheia. Yes?
Anybody? Oh gosh,
everyone.
My mic was.
Don't worry. Just the end of your.
Let's do it
again.
Yeah, we heard the times. We heard the times, Aletheia. Just at the end when you said that everyone is able to be voted. Yeah.
Ah, okay. So it's okay.
Yes.
Everyone's going to be voted.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Everybody.
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Don't be so nervous, everyone. This is really strange for us sometimes. So that's how we learn, taking ourselves to the next level. So please cast your votes now in our pool. Everyone can vote, our guests and friends from other clubs too. You just pick the number that you want, what you think was the best impromptu speech for this meeting. And with you voting, I'm going to move forward and ask our feedback for the evaluators, because we're going to take time for our third part of this meeting. This is going to be the evaluators feedback. Everyone can keep casting your votes. If you didn't, you just click on that. I'm going to close the pool in a few minutes. So I would like now to invite Luis Eduardo França, my friend from Brasília Toastmasters. He's going to evaluate Ana Maruja Lima's speech. Please welcome Luis Eduardo. The stage is yours.
What brings me here? Maruzia, one of the reasons that brings me here is to watch your speech. I love it. It was amazing. For me, it's hard to be unbiased because I'm one of the greatest fans of Maruzia. She's one of the greatest speakers I have ever seen. For me, it's pretty hard to find points that she can improve, and easy for me to find notable characteristics on her. Now, let's begin with some good points. Maruzia, your speech was almost flawless for me. Your theme was very interesting. You bring us some informations about Ada Lovelace, because I am really a huge fan of Ada Lovelace, because I'm coming from the IT world, and your speech structure was well divided. Congratulations for that. Your enthusiasm and your joy to present your speech kept the audience pretty attention to that. Now, let's talk about your voice. She has a great variety of her voice. Look at Maruzia's presentation. At the end, she lowered her voice and keep raising until the conclusion. That was fantastic. Maruzia also fulfilled the screen, coming back and forth, and she approached the audience. It was great. Maruzia used the word of the day, the staggering, thumbs up for you. Also, Maruzia, she has a great characteristic, which was her gesture. She performed good gestures, and her face expressions was coherent with her words. Congratulations for that, Maruzia. Now, one thing that Maruzia would suggest to improve, Maruzia, is to lower a little bit your camera, because I want to see the medium part of your body and the full range of exploitation of the screen, all right? And I challenge you to your next tip to explore a little bit your lateral space. And I know you perform great gestures, but I want to see them more. Maruzia, I want to say that I'm already excited to watch your next presentation, and I wish you a staggering journey in Toastmasters. Thank you so much. Back to you, Alessandro.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Luis. It was great evaluator. So I would like to keep the attention of our guests. If you're not a Toastmaster member, please pay attention for these great feedbacks that everyone is going to deliver today. This is going to make you understand a lot how Toastmasters work. So I'd like now to move to our next evaluator. He is going to be evaluating Vanessa da Silva Santos. Please help me welcome to the stage Alexandre Magno to evaluate Vanessa da Silva.
Hello, can you hear me well? Okay. Nice to see you here, guys and girls. And Vanessa, it's such an interesting topic to me, because I've identified very much with your situation. And I think I have the same problems as you identified on yourself. So it was a good use of visuals. I really have to learn from you. But some things I would like to remark. I noticed that there was not very good audio. There was some problem with your audio and with your illumination. Half your face is on a kind of shadow. And there was not very much vocal variation. And well, the key issue was very clear and logically stated. That was very important. And that's it. Congratulations.
Thank you, Alexandre. Thank you for this feedback. I'm going to move now for our next evaluator. And Ana Paula Fernandes is going to evaluate Alaúze's speech. Please help me welcome Ana Paula Fernandes to evaluate Alaúze Pires. Ana Paula, the stage is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here again. And I would like, I'm sorry, I was putting my headphones. I would like to congratulate Alaúze for her speech today, which was very good and a very good speech that brought us a history that we can connect with. Like she was telling us her story, and this was very, very interesting because we could connect to her through her speech. So today, Alaúze, one thing that I want to call your attention, it's about your smile. You have such a beautiful smile that everyone wants to smile too when we are watching you as you deliver your speech. So congratulations for your way to move, like your gestures. It was really good. And another thing that I noticed was that, I'm sorry guys, I lost Aletheia, the timer. Just a second, okay? Okay, now found. Thank you, Lateya. Thank you. Sorry, guys. So, Alauzi, you had good gestures, and one thing that I liked too was how you developed your speech. Like you brought the beginning of the speech, and then you became more joyful, more excited about your story and the things you brought us. And just one little point that I wish you to improve is, like you told me, your camera, because it was like upside down, you know, like you should be on this level, but it was upside down. But just that, and you were very calm, and your English were very easy and clear. And congratulations for your speech. You improved it from the last one I saw. You improved it really well. And I hope to see you keep growing on Toastmasters. So thank you very much, everyone, and have a good afternoon.
Okay. Thank you, Ana Paula. Thank you for your feedback. Now I'm just rushing our agenda because we want to keep that on time. So I'm going to move for our next evaluator. It's going to be our friend from Mozambique. She's at evening time, I believe. Shana Maunzi. She's going to evaluate Maria Iracema Martin's speech. Please help me welcome our friend from Mozambique, Shana.
Thank you, Alessandro. Maria, first I want to congratulate you for, in a nutshell, bringing us tips on successful collaboration. I thought you did a great job in not only giving us tips, but also telling us about the staggering effects of not having successful collaboration. So congratulations for that. I think both the content, structure, and the delivery of your speech were on point. And I just wanted to point out the fact that you were standing while delivering your speech, which was great. I really loved it, especially in this virtual setting. It is good to have people delivering their speeches standing. That's really good. You also delivered your speech while making pauses, which is awesome. When you're making transitions from one topic to another, when you make a pause, it grips our attention. So that's great. You were also making great usage of hand gestures. I noticed that in the beginning when you made your question, and then throughout the delivery of your speech, when we were talking about meeting the pastor, you said, I listened to him, and you made hand gestures that were accordingly to what you were saying. So you were using your hand gestures strategically, and I thought that was really great. I also love the fact that you used the word of the day. That's amazing when you're delivering your speech, when you prepare for it. And you actually made questions which got us interacting and paying attention to what you were saying. I also loved the content of your speech. You were making practical examples on how to use successful collaboration when you use not only one, but two stories, both with the 15-15 rule, arriving early and leaving late, and how that impacted in your life. And on the positive gossiping, which I really loved, and I think I'm going to start using it as well. I think the content of your speech was flawless. And both the story on the pastor and the little one with your parents, those both were they were amazing. I just want to close it up over here with the structure. I think you started off pretty great with how you said how you do that so well, like just taking us to a situation in our lives, just making us remember of a time when somebody has complimented us. That was really great. And then you went throughout giving us your stories, and then you closed it up by giving us the tips for successful collaboration. So that was amazing. I think the only point I would recommend you to improve is with regards to your vocal variety. I think when you're telling a story, it is good to use your voice differently. Maybe you could have said, my parents, just create a scene about you waking up in the morning and feeling really excited because your parents complimented you and you feel excited to go ahead and do the dishes. Just try to work around with your voice. Good morning, or just create a scene for us. We want to feel like we are there at your house with your parents, and you use your voice to do that, okay? I think you've achieved your objectives, which was to tell us a strategy for working in a collaborative group or giving us an example of practical experiences with collaborative groups. So I think you did that amazingly, and I can't wait to hear you speak. So congratulations, Maria. Back to you, Alessandro.
Okay, thank you, Shanna. Thank you so much. That's a great evaluation. And I'd like now to ask our time report to say how was the time of the evaluators. Please welcome Aletheia Melo again. Stage is yours.
Hello. Can you hear me? I will pay attention now, guys. So they should deliver their evaluation in between 2 and 3 minutes, and with 30 seconds with tolerance as well. So Luis delivered his evaluation in 2 minutes and 47 seconds. Alexandre in 1 minute and 60 seconds. Ana Paula in 2 minutes and 55 seconds. And Xana 3 minutes and 8 seconds. So just Alexandre is not available to be eligible, but Luis, Ana, and Xana, yes, they are available to be eligible. Thank you. Back to you, Alessandro.
Thank you, Aletheia.
Thank
So I'm moving directly to our pool, so you can cast your vote for the best evaluators in your opinion. This is to help understand for them how they perform today and how can they improve with your feedback, so we can recognize the one that was the best evaluators. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds for that. We are almost done with the votes. And I'm going to share with you my screen. Okay. We have now almost everyone voted. Thank you so much. I would like now to move to our reports. It's the fourth part of our meeting. So I'm going to have all the reports as I mentioned in the beginning of this meeting. And I'd like to start that with our friend and member Akiko Yamagami. She's going to deliver her report as a counter. Please welcome Akiko. Thank you so much, Akiko. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmasters. So I am going to report that how many times the speakers made sounds or filler sounds. But before that, let me share with today's my good habit and the bad habit. The good habit, I start a day with a quick meditation, like I believe Alausi did today also. And then my bad habit is to check social media too much. Okay, let me start it. The first speaker, Ana Marzia. Sorry if I pronounce differently, but Anna made 3 repeats the words. And the second speaker, Vanessa. Vanessa made just 1 filler words, and then the 3 repeats words. And then third speaker, Alausi, she made 6 repeats words. And then fourth speaker, Maria Iracema, she made 4 sounds, which is filler sounds, and then 4 repeat sounds. And first evaluator, Luis, I don't think he made any filler sounds, but for his first table topic, I found he made just 1 repeat. And then second evaluator, Alessandro, I don't notice any filler sounds from him. Third evaluator, Ana Paula, I found 4 sounds, filler sounds from her, and then just 1 repeat words. And then first evaluator, Shanna, I found just 1 repeat words, very quick one. And then from her table topic, I found 2 filler sounds and then 1 repeated word. And then from topic master Daniel Beck, I found just 1 filler sounds and then just 1 repeated word. And For table topic speakers, since I mentioned Luis already, I will mention about Fabio Souza. He made 9 R sounds, filler sounds, and just one well, and then 2 repeat sounds. And then me, I made a table topic speak, and then Aditelia told me I made 3 R sounds, filler sounds. By the way, it was the most startling moment when Daniel called my name. Thank you, Alexandre. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Akiko. That was a great report. That's so important to us as members to start to really pay attention for the speakers, because we can find filler words when they can find them. So this is really nice. Thank you so much, Akiko. And now we're going to move to our second report for this meeting. That's going to be André Sacchi, our grammarian. So he is going to share his thoughts on the use of the language and know who was using the word of this afternoon. Please welcome André Sacchi. The stage is yours.
Thank you. I'll just share my screen. All right, can you see it? Okay. Well, first of all, I thank Amanda Akemi from Rio Gringo for the template for today's grammarian log. Well, all of you did great. Congratulations. If communicating is the goal, everyone achieved it. Many of you actually succeeded in using the word of the day. I stopped counting. Not only by saying it, but by actually using it in the right context. So I'm sorry if I missed anybody. So congratulations, Alessandro. You were the word of the day champ, but many of you used it. Some of the highlights I would like to mention are here. Let me just Ana Maruzia. You chose some very interesting words. Wirelessly, avant-garde, they were nice. Vanessa Santos used tend to be perceived as, which means tend to be noticed, way of saying it. Alauzi, guidance, nice word. Maria Iracema, I got some nice ways of saying it. Taking notes for future reference, work at hand, positive gossiping, it was nice too. Daniel Beck, sit tight, which means wait patiently. Very nice way of saying it. Luis Eduardo, you used for instance, unbiased. For instance is a nice way of saying, for example, very good. And Shana Maunzi, in a nutshell, which means in a few words, very nice. And but of course there are some suggestions for improvement. What was said, meeting was handled, when it should have been said, meeting was handled at the end. Habits is so important. Habits are so important. During this, my journey, which is a translation from Portuguese. In Portuguese, we say, during this, my journey, or durante essa minha jornada, during my journey. And some pronunciation tips. Someone said within, but it should have been said within. The stress is at the end. Well, there is always the classical word. When you want to say world, there is always that L in the middle of the word world. And many of you said successful, which is lots of sex, I think, I don't know. But it should have been said success and successful, not successful. All right. And I heard a few times scream when you actually wanted to say screen. So there's a slight difference, but it makes, they're different words. And as a wrap up, I leave you a thoughtful remark by Henry James, one important American British writer who, not by coincidence, is William James's brother, the father of modern psychology, and the guy who gave us the inspirational remark for today's theme. So we could say that it was a family that had the habit of having great thinkers in their midst. And he wrote, adjectives are the sugar of literature and adverbs the salt. Them, but use them wisely. Little will make our speeches flavorless, and on the other hand, too much will make our listeners suspect we actually didn't have much to say. So those were my contributions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, André. In a personal note here, that's so amazing to see a report for that, because one of my goals is to understand better language, better use of the English language and the Portuguese language. So it's really nice to see that we have another member here that can give us such a rich and empowering report as a grammarian. Thank you so much for your participation. I'm sure that Aletheia is going to be in your neck asking you to be our grammarian so many times from now on. Thank you so much. And now we are going to invite our guest, Aline Amorim. Thank you again so much for joining us today. Aline is going to give her report as a general evaluator and take notes and share them with us. How was handled our meeting? Please help me welcome Aline Amorim, our general evaluator for this meeting.
Hello, guys. Thank you for the introduction. It is a pleasure to be here and a pleasure to watch your meeting. I spend most of my time actually taking notes on what I want to have on B Talkers rather than taking notes on what should be improved. I think it's awesome. And I really enjoyed listening to the other evaluators. I think you got points that were really important, especially in these moments that we use videos a lot. So illumination and microphone, I really appreciated that kind of points that the evaluator got. I'm not gonna share my video right now. Sorry for that. As I told you in the beginning, my life today is kind of crazy. I am in the middle of moving to a new house. So I'm setting down some stuff, getting my cat to be, around the house. So thank you a lot for the opportunity. And I really enjoyed Akiko's evaluation of accounting. I'm just sorry that she won't be able to be counting mine, or if she is, please send me them later. Also, maybe that could be a point of improvement for the next meeting, having the counter after the general evaluation so we can see our us. I really enjoyed all the presentations and the slides you guys shared. So it's always a learning experience to be in this club. I will also share some other feedbacks on the form that Aletheia provided me. One other stuff is that I want to say is about Aletheia. She was a timer, but she came after me with a lot of resources as if she was a Toastmaster. And I think this is a great thing to do when you have a club that all the members are connected to one point and connected to one goal. So that's another very good thing about Brasília Toastmasters. Congratulations for that. And well, the only point that I could notice right now is to have the counter after the general evaluator. And I think I am already running out of my time. So thanks for your attention and the invitation. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Okay. Thank you, Aline. Thank you so much. And we do try to have a really comprehensive way of how to handle meetings and try to make everyone connect. Being VPE, as Aletheia is today, as I was in the past year in Toastmasters, in Brazil Toastmasters, that's really challenged. So it's really nice to see someone outside our club recognizing that show to our members that's so important to have someone like her to give this great example on how to handle meeting and how to find people helping us. Again, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Aletheia.
Exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
one thing that I forgot to mention, I would like to congratulate the Table Topics Master. I really like the wheel. And also the word of the day. It had a great usage. So congratulations to the grammarian as well. Sorry, I had forgot about that. And also, guys, if you would like the chance to be in a very new club with a whole of points to improve, we have meeting this next Monday on Be Talkers at night. So if you would like to, please connect to me. Aletheia has my WhatsApp number.
Okay, so it's a pleasure to join you. I know that Edith was one of the members that was founded this club. It's going to be really nice. If you don't know, here, Be Talkers is a club from IBM in Brazil, so it's a great place to make new friends and expand your network of possibilities through Toastmasters clubs here in Brazil. Thank you so much. This is amazing. So I'm going to move to our next part of the meeting. I don't know if Leticia Aline can turn on her video, but we are going to have now our picture. I'd like to invite everyone to just open your camera so you can take a print screen of our guests today. Everyone just stretch your backs, and we are going to have a new good habit is to look into the camera and not yourself in the screen. This is going to be a lot better for you, so people can feel you really looking into your eyes. Okay, so let me just change for the grid view. We still have someone, I think. Alexandre is here. Great. Everyone is going to be into the picture. Amazing. So we are going to take some pictures. 1 second. I take this. Okay, so look into the camera. 1, 2, 3. Again. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to share my screen for you to show who was the best of this meeting. 1 second. Okay, best smile. Let's see how was our presented. And I would like to start with, best table topics of this meeting. Drum rolls for our best table talk speaker. That was Luiz Eduardo França. Congratulations, my friend. That was a really inspiring speech in 2 minutes. That was amazing.
Thank you.
And we have now our best evaluators for this meeting. Please drum rolls so you can recognize our best evaluator. And she is from Mozambique. Thank you again, Sana, for being with us. Congratulations on this reward as a best evaluators. Everyone can learn Toastmasters, and I always learn with Shana. She has a great English. I can't believe that she is in a place that speaks Portuguese as our friends here in Brazil. Thank you so much, Shana. That was great. And now our final recognition for the best prepared speech for this meeting. Drum rolls to see who was she was the best speaker of this meeting was Ana Maruza. Congratulations, Ana. This is great to see you here delivering your speech and your
Thank you, guys.
experience with us. Congratulations. And I would like now to move for the next part, that is educational achievements. Who is finishing levels in this meeting? That was a traditional thing that we start to do in the past month here in Brasília Toastmasters to show that we appreciate the effort of our members. And the first one is Ana Maruza Pinheiro Lima again, finished her first level in Pathways. But don't get this wrong, Ana Maruza has a great experience as a Toastmasters. I believe she has almost 7 years, Ana Maruza, or 6 years in Toastmasters. Could you share with us how was your experience outside Brazil?
Yes, since 2015, and I have some awards like ACB, like CL, they are no longer in our educational program. Now I am here on Pathways and very excited about it and very happy. Very happy.
Thank
again.
you. Congratulations, Maruja. Thank you so much for sharing with us your knowledge, as Luis Eduardo mentioned in his feedback. Ana Maruja joined Brasília Toastmasters in the first few months, 4 years ago, and I heard that from her, that after the first meeting, she went for the Toastmaster of the day and said that that wasn't a Toastmasters meeting. So thank you for helping our club grow as a club and help we achieve great quality from your experience from outside Brazil in another Toastmasters club. Congratulations. And we have again finished her second level, Alaúzi da Silva Pires. Congratulations, Alaúzi, in your second level in Pathways. So we are just waiting for you to start your next project in the third level in Pathways. Congratulations for that, Alaúzi. And now I'd like, as a Toastmaster of this meeting, thank you everyone. I am going to close the meeting and start this talk with you in Portuguese so our guests can understand better about Toastmasters and about our next meeting, and we'll have our final announcements. Obrigado, meus amigos, obrigado a todos vocês. É tão mais fácil falar em português, o vocabulário é tão mais amplo e impressionante. Eu ainda preciso praticar muito. Obrigado pela oportunidade de ser Toastmaster hoje, Aletheia. É um grande desafio e uma grande felicidade travar a língua, sentir frio na barriga, perder o uso das palavras, e com feedbacks tão preciosos igual do nosso gramático e da Kiko como accounter, ajuda muito a nossa eloquência, melhorar a nossa qualidade vocabulária com o inglês. Nossos anúncios finais. Primeiro, segunda-feira agora, vamos todos nós aqui para Palmas, em Tocantins, no Clube Palmas Toastmasters, prestigiar nossos amigos aqui do Brasília Toastmasters, do BSB Nights, do BIT, que é o BSB Innova Talking, e nossos amigos do Palma Toastmasters. O nosso campeonato de debates vai ter semifinal e final nessa segunda-feira agora, dia 14, 19 horas. Nós vamos compartilhar o link dessa reunião com vocês. Vai ser um prazer estar juntos com vocês. Eu estarei como um dos semifinalistas, debatendo contra meu amigo de clube aqui do BSB Nights, Rodrigo Ramos, e teremos também o Jonathan Mendonça, que é o presidente do Palmas Toastmasters, debatendo contra Ronald Neri, do BIT, BSB Innova Talking, e desse debate teremos 2 finalistas, e o vencedor vai representar a nossa área 8 no Campeonato Nacional de Debates, que teremos no dia 31 de outubro. Então, eu gostaria muito que vocês pudessem me conectar. Vai ser em torno de 1h30, 2 horas de reunião, assistir nossos debates, sentirem-se inspirados e desafiados, porque ano que vem teremos de novo outros debates, e seria um prazer contar com a participação de todos vocês como visitantes e como debatedores também. Imagina dentro de cada clube ter quartas de final, semifinal e final dividido em algumas reuniões. Seria sensacional. Então, segunda-feira, 14, 19 horas. E a nossa próxima reunião, ela vai ser em português, dia 19 de setembro, já é no próximo sábado. Como eu mencionei no começo da reunião, nós temos 4 reuniões por mês, 2 em português e 2 em inglês. E 14h45, daqui 7 dias, nos encontramos de novo aqui, conversando em português, trocando ideias, escutando os discursos preparados maravilhosos e recebendo vocês, visitantes, com um carinho enorme. Eu gostaria aqui, como presidente do clube, encerrar nossa reunião e gostaria agora de abrir espaço para os nossos convidados compartilharem suas opiniões e agradecer aqui a participação de todos vocês que ajudaram a reunião de hoje a acontecer. Parabéns aos oradores, avaliadores e nossos colegas que fizeram os relatórios. Muito obrigado e até a nossa próxima reunião. E em Palmas, vamos passar calor juntos segunda-feira, meus amigos. Obrigado, meus amigos. Foi excelente.
Não é só Palmas, não, porque São Paulo também está super calor.
É bom saber, Aline. Mas Palmas, eu sei que assim, eles passam muito mal de calor lá, viu? Impressionante. Brasília está muito quente também, meus amigos. Obrigado.
O debate?
E não, vai ser online também, Maria. Eu brinquei com a ideia de ir para Palmas, mas vai ser online. Vou passar o link no nosso grupo do WhatsApp. A Letéia já
aqui
colocou.
também, né? Aqui no chat.
A Kiko, thank you. Obrigado, a Kiko.
Thank
Parabéns
you,
pela sua
Kiko.
primeira participação. Muito obrigado.
Parabéns,
muito bom.
gente.
Pessoal, eu queria
Parabéns.
agradecer também. Obrigado pela recepção aí. Vocês estão convidados também para participar do clube aqui de Campinas, tá? A gente se reúne 2 vezes por mês, em inglês, segundas e quartas, terças-feiras à noite, tá? 7h30 da noite.
Passa o link para a Letéia, ela compartilhar com a gente no nosso grupo.
Sim.
Tá bom, então.
Obrigado.
É muito legal, já fui. É muito legal.
Você é suspeita, Letéia, para falar de Campinas.
É.
Pois é. Não vale, né?
Mas gostei muito. Aprendi muito com vocês.
Moçambique, gente, de Moçambique é muito massa. O clube deles é muito divertido. É lotado.